Hey everybody, Iron Leprechaun coming at you. I'm back after about a week hiatus, had some stuff to handle, but here we are. Continuing on our journey through applying the 12-step recovery programs, step 2 in everyday life. Remember to click the bell icon to get, notifications for these videos. I try to post them on the socials, but you get them quicker or you might miss those, and you get these through the bell icon. Like, share, subscribe. Of course, share these. This is not just for me. Now, I do get a lot out of talking about this. Usually topics I talk about are things that I'm struggling with, and I want to share it with you. And so I do get something out of this. But the point is so that we share our struggles, we share our solutions with our struggles, and we all get better for it. So please do. I appreciate the dialogue. Now, step 2, come to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. Now, I've talked a little bit about insane, sane. I've talked about turning it over, coming to believe that there's something greater than me, coming to believe then that that thing, that entity, that God, whatever you choose to use, can restore me to sanity. And that takes a little bit of faith, a leap of faith, something we're not used to, some trust. Now, something else that we got to trust here is a word. I'm going to use a word that doesn't really line up well. If you watch some of my other videos that aren't 12-step related, it doesn't really sound like it lines up with my attitude towards life, but it is, and let me explain. That word is surrender. Okay? Now, a lot of that applies to step 1, admitting I'm powerless, my life's unmanageable, I have to surrender to this idea. Now, I'm again being asked to surrender, that I can, to the idea that I can fix my thinking, okay? It's obvious I can't, and I need help by something bigger than me. We're talking, of course, about the word I use is God. It's no secret to anyone who knows me. I do believe in the Christian faith. That doesn't mean you have to. That doesn't mean I have to. I suppose I could change my mind, but the fact that something bigger than me, if we've admitted we're powerless and we've admitted that our lives are unmanageable, or in everyday situations, of course, I'm not talking about recovery, I'm talking about everyday life again. So if I admit that this situation is out of my power and it's out of my control, I can't manage it, okay, wouldn't it make sense because obviously the thing is still bothering me, or maybe it still does need to be handled to a degree. Maybe there is something I can do on my end. Maybe it's me, it involves me and another person. Okay, that's a great example. Now, I can control what I do to a degree, my thoughts, my actions. I'm responsible for that. But I cannot stick my hand in someone's head and work them like a puppet. I could have said the other end, but I'm trying to be a little cool. And, okay, here. I can't stick my hand up their ass and work them like a puppet and make them do what I want, no matter how badly I want it. I can't do that. They are humans. They have free will. They have choice, okay? And that may bother me. Think about that. The fact that somebody else has free choice, which I am very thankful and grateful that I have, bothers me because it don't line up with what I want. Okay, that sounds like, a brat attitude. But it happens. It happens all the time. It could be a significant other, all the way to somebody not using their turn signal and almost causing an accident right in front of me on the road. People do things that we think they ought to do differently. Okay, that's going to happen. But if that starts eating my lunch, if that starts ruining my day, I start losing sleep over it, I need something bigger than me, something stronger than me, something more powerful than me to ease my thoughts. Now, some people think that, and maybe this is true, that if I just pray to God and get, he will reach his metaphorical hands into my head and relieve this pain. Now, maybe that does happen to a degree, but I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to understand the inner workings of the higher power at work here. Okay, I'm human. I'm not going to try. I have my understanding, and that's good enough. But I have to take some action here almost. Now, coming to believe, yes, okay, but it's almost like somewhere in between mental and physical surrender, okay? Because when I want to be sane in this thought process over some issue, and I have proven to myself that I can only stay insane. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried this, I've tried altering my thoughts, I've tried reading books, I've tried all these things, and to the best of my power, I cannot allow something out of my control to not mess with my head. Okay, that's when I've got to have that higher power. I've got to. Otherwise, I'm going to stay insane. And you know what happens? If I stay in an insane spot in my head, other avenues and areas of my life start getting affected. Not just this issue I'm talking about that I'm focused on that's messing with me. It'll bleed over into everything. And then eventually it'll bleed over into other people's lives. Now I'm causing havoc and wreckage in their lives. That's no good, man. I'm being a taker rather than a giver. I am then acting on selfishness and self-centeredness at that point. And I talked about it in my last video. That is the root of all our troubles. So, you know, I read something here earlier in some of the literature, and I'm going to touch on it here in a second and then wrap this up. So, when I surrender to the fact that, you know, the power greater than myself that I have chosen to believe in, I have to allow that to stay. Okay, like again, we're kind of bleeding into step 3 here, but if I come to believe that this power can restore me to sanity, and I trust that it will, I got to surrender that whole thing. I got to let it go. Okay, now that's hard to do. That is so hard to do, but if I've made it this far in this process, I'm choosing to make a commitment to trust that there's something bigger than me that has my best interest at heart, that wants me to be happy, that wants me to succeed, that wants me to be better and do better and therefore receive better. Why wouldn't I trust it? This is a struggle for some people, but it is necessary to get out of this funk if you're in there, okay? And I've been there a lot. I've been there off and on recently. I mean, it doesn't really go away. This is life stuff, man. And the more we do this, just like a muscle, the more we exercise it, the easier it gets. I'm wrapping this up because it's getting a little longer. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Stay safe the rest of the Sunday. Catch you next time.